Hey guys, welcome back to the Vone vlog, and today we're going to talk about inspirations for the Vone's upcoming album and fake news in the world of post-truth. So, the intention to talk about fake news today is partly because that subject is one of the themes in the Vone's upcoming album. But there was another catalyst behind wanting to share my thoughts about this matter. I received this meme recently on my WhatsApp. To those of you who don't speak Portuguese, it says, Class 2 medical mask that is easy to wrap around your ears. Each particle of dust is 10 microns large. The coronavirus is 0.125 microns large. Any questions? And at the very bottom it says, we live in a society that does not believe in truth even if it's literally smeared in your face. Now, why is this meme a problem? First of all, there's plenty of people in the world right now that believe that wearing a face mask is useless. But to add salt to the wound, there are plenty of people that even believe the coronavirus is a lie. And so it's very dangerous to share memes like this. It discourages an already really demotivated population that doesn't have the right safeguards in place anyway. There's no proper leadership coming from the top down saying this is what you have to do, this is how to stay safe. And so much of our safety is down to the individual, which means it's really dangerous when individuals are then being constantly challenged with posts like these. It's not even because someone went to the trouble of doing this test at home, taking photos of it, because I actually don't doubt that particular part of the meme. You know, there's a photo, someone's actually gone to the trouble of chucking the dust at their face and the dust has gone through the mask. And so it's not whether I believe whether the dust goes through or not that makes me go, oh wow, this must be some revelation in science that makes me think, ooh, masks are pointless. It's actually the sentence at the very bottom. That's what disturbs me the most, because they did this test, they took the photo, they shared the meme before even thinking twice about the implications of this. Ironically, the people who wrote this at the bottom of the meme are the people who probably need to listen to it the most, because they're denying truth even when it's smeared in their face, when there are so many establishments and so many studies that show that masks help reduce the spread of the virus. I looked into it, and it turns out, yes, the virus particle is smaller than an air molecule, and therefore, yes, it's smaller than the mesh provided by these masks. But the virus particle rarely travels on its own. It's always attached to a water molecule or a mucus molecule. It's always attached to something larger, and that's how the masks actually stop the virus from coming through. But in addition to this, no one actually said that masks are 100% effective. It's all about reducing the risk of infection and reducing the spread of the virus. So above everything else, this meme is extremely selfish because it disregards the fact that you're not just trying to protect yourself, you're trying to protect others as well. If you cough or if you sneeze, a mask prevents that cough or that sneeze from going very far. And so you're reducing the chances of contaminating someone else through a cough or through a sneeze. And coughing and sneezing is known to be the way in which the virus spreads the most. So it bothers me how selfish this meme is. But the science aside, because you can actually dive deeper into the science and find loads of reliable sources that lay waste to this claim that masks are pointless. But the science aside, what really bothers me is that someone went to the trouble of creating this meme, and it seems at first glance like they're just being cruel because they're just enjoying creating confusion. But the person who created this meme is probably exactly like me. They're someone who's concerned, they want to find the truth, and they're probably someone who's smart enough to look into it. They discover the size of the dust particles and they did the experiment themselves and they took a photo and then they created the meme. But they didn't even look further into it. And so it's just disturbing and upsetting to see that people will lead to conclusions too quickly, but also take it upon themselves to share information because there's such a wide distrust of the establishment. Now, I'm the first person to point my finger at the establishment and say, that's wrong, these things need to change systematically. Taking a stance as a civilian, maybe practicing civil disobedience. There's a difference between that and creating a distrust of our media establishments to the point where you don't trust anything bar yourself. And that becomes really dangerous because then if you're your only source of information, then obviously you're going to start seeing the world in a smaller and smaller scale. And then this leads me to my second talking point, which is this has been a huge inspirational factor in the theme behind the album, album because, as I said in last week's Vone vlog, the album's inspired by this quote: "In the kingdom of the blind, the one-eyed man is king." And that was written by a Dutch philosopher in the Renaissance era, but weirdly I think it's very, very relevant even today. There are many ways to interpret this quote, but to me it's directly connected to this idea of fake news and the world of post-truth. If you don't trust anyone else bar yourself, then you're blinding yourself, because we're not islands. We need each other and we need mutual trust to function. And so someone who doesn't trust the establishment and the system that they live in is gonna face a series of challenges as they try to find truth that is being shared by said establishment. Now, I think distrust of the establishment and I think standing up for what is wrong with the establishment is absolutely something great to do, and we should all do it. It's our civic duty to do that. But there's a difference between that and seeing every single headline that comes your way and saying that's a lie, which then just gives birth to all these subcategories of information sharing platforms on Facebook, on various social media platforms, where other people who also don't trust the establishment come together and form big coalitions of disinformation. So I guess what I wanted to say is, let's all be really, really careful with sharing these WhatsApp posts, with letting these WhatsApp posts cause hysteria, because I get so many of these a day from so many different people that it's like eventually you do start wondering, oh my god, is this a lie? Is this true? Is this, should I be wearing a mask? I've been so worried about wearing a mask. I've been so worried about my health, and this is all pointless. I need to calm down, and I think we all need to calm down and find our information from the fourth estate, from the establishment that were always there to share information with us. Now, we live in a good world from the perspective that there are so many different media outlets. There is no shortage of sources from where you can get your information. So it's better for you to read 10 or 20 different newspapers than cease reading newspapers at all and just get all your information from Facebook, Instagram, or WhatsApp. Anyway, that's my rant over. I'm really, really excited to share this new album with you guys because I do think the music has a lot of power behind it, and I think this subject matter has opened up a wide range of ideas for me to write about. And I like this idea that above all else, we are our own universes. We dwell here in our minds. So in here, there's an entire universe, because everything you perceive is only a byproduct of your brain. So within my universe, I am my own king, and the more I distrust everything around me, the more I blind myself, and so I become my one-eyed man, my blind man in my own kingdom, in this weird metaphor that I'm sort of getting at. So I guess what I'm getting at is that it's not just an album or a theme about society and about the outer world, about my perception of the world. It's also an album about my perception of the inner world, about my own blindness, about my own denial about various subjects. So I think it's gonna make for a very interesting listen. So stay tuned, because this Friday we've got our first cover coming out in our cover series. It's gonna be coming out every Friday, and I'll be back next Tuesday with another Vone vlog. Sending you all much love.